All right, welcome back to the Morning Star. If you're just joining us, it's coming to you live from our studios along the OIC road. Like I said earlier, we were expecting to have Mr. Touray from the NYSS, which is the National Youth Service Scheme established by Act of Parliament in 1996, just with the aim of, inculcate nationalism, patriotism, voluntarism, and discipline in young people by empowering them with livelihood skills. And Mr. Touray is with us this morning. How are you, Mr. Touray?
Thank you. Fine, thanks.
You're the communication assistant, if I'm right.
Yes, please, I am.
It's a pleasure having you.
Same here. I'm glad to be here.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Touray kunda amul fi kal la. So fi amul kal ma bolé la sa kal bi mu togn la. Waaw su ko defee ñu tooñ la because léegi naa NYSS xale yi dañ ñëw rek caalit su ko defee ngeen ne teg yére
si Sekunda ya Kabala Kunda kay ak Daawa Kunda waaw ñooñu loolu leen wax baax na amoo ci benn problème the only problème mu am mooy nga wax dara génn te loolu doo ko def doo ñu seetaan parce que kii daf maa tooñ anyway but like I said yes, I want you to take us through everything that has to do with the national, youth service scheme, because it's an act of parliament, and then I believe people need to know exactly what the NYSS is all about. Just briefly, and then before we come, because we have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about the graduation program as well, which is more important. And I'm sure a date was set for it, and then I'm going to deadline day for people to apply and stuff like that. But can you just take us through, please? Thank you so much. As I said earlier on, it's a pleasure to be here. Once again, I am Ebrima, the communications assistant of the National Youth Service Scheme. And when we talk about the National Youth Service Scheme, as you said earlier on, the scheme came into being back then in 1996 as an act of parliament. And the aim of the National Youth Service Scheme is actually to empower young people. But how do we empower young people? In our core values, we make sure that we inculcate sense of nationalism, patriotism, voluntarism, and most importantly, discipline. And how do we do this? We have series of programs we actually do at the National Youth Service Scheme. And one of those programs is one of the reasons, in fact, why I am here, which is the graduate program, which we target university graduates. And we also have the normal batch, which we target between those that graduate from grade 9 to 12. And we also have the ATP badge, which is the apprenticeship training badge, which is the grade 9 below school dropouts and those that did not go through the conventional way of education. Like we target the madrasas and the daras and all that. Not. So in brief, that's what we do.
Then everyone is included. Because groups can target then obviously certain body together, and obviously have chance. Everybody can have a chance to be enrolled at the NYS. With the Ministry of Youth and Sports and together with UNDP as well.
Right, so under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we have different satellite institutions. And among our 7 satellite institutions, and you have National Youth Service Scheme is also part of those satellite institutions. So we are directly under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, just like how NADI is, how National Youth Council is, and how National Sports Council and PIA are. That's how we also are under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And this is an initiative by the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And we actually started, it was the government show, it was the government that. And now we have a partnership with UNDP where they also support us with regards to the activities we do. So it's the government's initiative with support or partnership with UNDP Gambia.
Going back to where it all began, let's say from 1996 up to date, I'm sure you must have recorded so many success stories because the NYSS have been definitely doing great. So many aspiring youths went through the NYSS and they came out with with skills. They came out with something to be recommended with. And so what are some success stories, at least to inspire those that are watching to be.
From 1996 to now, we've registered a
whole lot of success stories, and among those success stories, in fact, one of the key examples I normally give is Kausu Badi.
Yeah, our MD.
So the MD was part of the 2001 grad cohort of the NYSS, the service scheme, whereby from NYSS he went and pursued some other careers with the influence he had, with the opportunity he had from the NYSS. He's one of the key success stories, especially when I'm here to talk about. And not just him, we've had, one Kausu also, another Kausu also who is into construction. Also was part of the one of the key individuals we have also with success stories. And our last graduate program also on Saturday, our guest speaker was also, who is a lady and now a mechanic also, and she is currently working with UNICEF. Before UNICEF, she worked with Gambia Ports Authority as the only female mechanic. So she's also one of the key success stories we have. And not just that, I'm sure when we go more into the program, when I talk about the success stories, especially we've registered with just the pilot of the graduate program we've had last year. So I'm sure when we get more, when you go more into the details, we will talk about the success stories we've registered in that also.
Okay. Back also Meliton, Degaruton Bob.
No, he's one of
was he the stubborn type?
He's one of the best, even though I was not there at the time. But
are you saying this because you're in this building?
No, I'm not saying this because I'm in this building. He's one of those I engage a lot, and then he is in fact connecting me with a lot of other individuals, especially in his badge that actually did well. And then in that badge, the 2001 badge is one of the best badges, because through Causeway I'm able to connect with a lot of them. So because we're working on actually a documentary also to have these individuals have their success stories, their journeys from National Youth Service Scheme, and how they transition. So we're putting up a documentary and all that, and he's actually been very helpful with regards to connecting us to those that are in his cohort and the cohort before him and the cohort after him. Yes.
Okay. But you must have, some difficult times, some challenges as well. Not only the success stories that you recorded, but there were times when things were so tough, or you got challenges that were so hard to address.
So in every setup or in every activity we register challenges. These challenges, of course, has to be with our aim. First of all, to start with, our aim is to be able to create a balanced society, a society whereby we will not only come up with job seekers but also job creators. And in doing that, as I said earlier on, we need to have a balanced society. Now, having that balanced society is actually very challenging in the fact that when you look at our areas of intervention and you look at the funding we have, especially from the national budget, what budget is given to the Ministry of Youth and Sports for it to be able to cater for all the satellite institutions that are within the Ministry of Youth and Sports, particularly the National Youth Service Scheme. And as I said, now we have other partners that are coming on board to actually support our activities. But before those partners, in fact we want to do more. But now, with the graduate program, we are just limited to 100. And we started the pilot program with the University of the Gambia with 100 graduates, 100 young people. Now we open up to other universities. For example, now we have University of the Gambia, we have IOU, we have Iowa, and we have USET. Now we're trying to bring these people, or in fact this upcoming badge, we are bringing these people on board. And then we also want to open it up to other universities, like the Civil Service University, formerly MDI, and the University of Education, which is the formerly Gambia College. And also not just that, but the Jamia also, the Arabic University also. We're trying to bring these people on board, all of them. But the problem we have is our constraint is now with the funding. Because we are limited to 100, we want to open it up to 200, 300. We want to open it up, in fact, to 1,000, whereby when these people graduate, we will have them on board straight to create the avenue for them, to create the opportunity for them, whereby they will go in for internships in different institutions to make sure that they bridge the gap between graduation and employment. So one of the key challenges we have, as I said earlier, is funding. We are very limited on that resources.
Okay, all right. Let's go straight and take a look at the graduate program. And today is on the 18th. According to what I've seen, 18th was set for the deadline day. Are you going to extend this or what? Because take us through the graduate program and things like that.
So, since you extend ko.
Wow, because Lul Momo is on 18 Taylor. So obviously, I'm sure there are so many youths out there and you have the to enroll with the NYSS. So on the 18th day, the jump and
so as I said, since you extend ko.
Wow.
But legislation problem when we opened the registration up on the 9th, within 3 days we already had the number we wanted.
Oh, that's good then.
So
good then.
So now, but the application window is between 9th to 18th, at least a week or so. When we already had about a week and a half to 2. But now the problems becomes we already exhaust the numbers.
Oh.
So, but not just only looking at exhausting the numbers. Once we open it up, what we did was before the application was open, we sent in flyers. We made social media engagements, letting people know that the application will be open on this date, from this time to this time.
Okay.
So that people will gear up towards that. Then after when the application was open, and people applied in large numbers.
Wow.
In both ladies.
So I'm getting target already.
Both ladies and yes, I'm mentioning target already. But the window is the application is closing today at 12.
But I'm not they're going on the training because legally I am part of them. Control room, can you please roll out those pictures, please? Because you have some pictures, NYSS, then you roll pictures and stuff. Yeah. Okay. As far as I'm going to target is important. Our is here, Maimuna is here as well. They might have questions to ask. That's where we continue.
Do you train them when it comes to the security aspect? Because Lipsy mentioned about the issue of this. So,
what do you associate that with security?
Security is no one okay, so when it comes to the issue of security as well, actually young disciplines when it comes to the young people there.
So as I said earlier on, we have different programs we did. We have the apprenticeship training, that's the ATP. We also have the normal badge, and we have the graduate program. Now, the graduate program, they go through light trainings because they are the university graduates. And what we do is, after orienting them, we take them to institutions, both private and public institutions, for them to have internships at. And we also have the normal badge. But the normal badge and then the ATP, they go through intensive trainings because with the university grad also they go through trainings because they have to go through drills, they have to go through different activities to actually prepare them mentally, physically, emotionally, so that in any society they go into, in any institution they go into, they will be able to thrive. And the reason why the ATP and the normal badge have intensive training is because they're going also into the scale sector. And when you go into the scale sector, you need the physicality needs to be there. You're going to mingle with different people, different customers you will have. So we expect you to be different. And how do we expect you to be different without giving you the necessary trainings you need? So that is why those two badges go through intensive trainings with the soldiers so that we'll be able to prepare them. And as I said earlier, the grade 12s, those that graduate from grade 12, we take them to institutions to learn skills. These institutions include USET, Gain, Joro, Inside Trading, and other institutions, Fundema, and other institutions for them to learn the skills because they've gone through school. And the ATP, which they did their graduation on Saturday, now that ATP also, they go into apprenticeship trainings. So when they go through these apprenticeship trainings, we pay the craftsmen. We also give them monthly stipends for them to keep it up with the apprenticeship training. And also those that are going to USET and other institutions also, we give them monthly stipends, pay their tuition fees, and also those that are doing the graduate program also, when we take them to internships, we also give them monthly stipends for them to keep going.
So when you send them to these various institutions, what are some of the feedbacks or reaction you get from those people?
So we have M&E, whereby when we send them to institutions, we follow it up with them so that we will know the difference the program is able to make. And sometimes also what we do is we create a feedback form sort of and send it to them, and they will give us their feedbacks. In fact, one of the reasons, and in fact our technical working committee for this upcoming one, we have some of them that passed through the last program that are within this other program. We invite them over to the technical working committee because they've lived it and they've experienced it, and then they've also lived the institutions they've been to, and also when they get back to us with regards to the feedbacks, plus the other feedbacks also we have from other people. So those are, in fact, those are the yardsticks we use to measure our level of preparedness for this upcoming one.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Before all comes in, I want us to talk about the way you inculcate discipline in these people. Is it through the ATP, the apprenticeship program? How do you inculcate discipline in some of these youths? Because that's very important.
So it's very, very funny if I say even this morning, one graduate among the last batch, one of them texted me and said, "Sir, good morning." So they lived with the sir. When we get, you have people that are older than me, and they call me sir. So when I enter the NYSS campus, when they are seated, they will stand up to greet. When their parents come over on Saturdays, we have on Sundays we have visits from families and friends. And when they're walking towards their family members, you see them marching, you see them running. And when they are addressing their parents, they will be using Sama. Their sisters, everything is Sama. And one of the feedbacks we have from the institutions also is those that pass through NYSS, when you have them in institutions, are always different from other people. I'm not saying that we are the best, but I'm saying if you pass through NYSS, when you have an encounter with the soldiers, you're ready. You are disciplined.
Yeah, that's very true. I can attest to it because Kapsu is a good example to that, because the farm discipline, to be honest. He is my boss, but the farm discipline, I am telling you. Why did I fail? Because I'm GoPro. What do you have something to say?
Basically, mom highlight la almost getting there, but then what's the period of the training? How long?
So each program has its period. We have the graduate program, we orient them for 15 days. And you have the ATP, we orient them between 3 weeks to a month. And the normal badge also between 3 weeks to a month. Sometimes it can exceed a month depending on the variables on the ground, and sometimes also it can be less depending on the variables and depending on the resources also. So with the graduate program, when we send them to institutions, we send them in for a period of 1 year, pay their stipends for a period of 1 year. Now, within this 1 year also, we are looking forward, or we look forward to having you being employed from the institution we send you at, because before we send you to the institution, we aligned your academia with the job market. Where you are needed, where we believe you are needed, depending on what you learn from school, that's what we put you through. Now, the apprenticeship training badge also, we send them to, let's say, USET, to have a diploma or to have advanced diploma, 2 years. So we give you a scholarship for 2 years, you go in and then learn the skills. Then from there, when we get back, then you have you have your graduation with us also. And then those that did well, we provide for them materials to kickstart. If you are mechanic, we give you mechanical tools if you're doing well. And then with the ATP badge that did their graduation also, we did their swearing-in ceremony on Saturday. We send them to different craftsmen, pay the craftsmen, as I said earlier on, give them stipends also. For a period of 2 years, at least if you're going to learn skills, we believe that within 2 years, you should be able to master that. So after the 2 years, they report back to the NYSS headquarters. Then from there also we do a graduation ceremony for them. And after doing the graduation ceremony also for them, those that are doing well, we provide materials for them also. for the, and also not only providing the materials for them, but we also create a market for them, because we are working directly with the government, and then the government has all the markets, and we also working with UNDP, whereby UNDP also has all the markets. So we create a market for you, also for you to be able to thrive.
Okay, so just a follow-up, what's the step of NYSS whereby if one or some of your trainees or students go for an internship and they are not employed?
So what we do is, it's not our we post you to employ you by force per se. So what we do is, we have understanding between us and the institutions we send in you on. So where we believe is your capacity, where we believe that you are needed, is where we put you in. Now, when we put you into these institutions, it's, as I said earlier, it's not our making. We cannot force them to employ you, but we expect you as a person also to be, let's say, to be punctual, to be up to task, to make sure that when an assignment is given to you, you do it well. So we believe that when you are able to do all that, then the tendency of the institution hiring you is higher. If in cases whereby the institution also is not does not employ you for one or two reasons, we also, because of the exposure also the institution we put you in also will put you through. So as a person also, you should be able to network with other institutions depending on your areas of intervention. So with the connection you will have from the institution you are at, if they don't employ you, you can leverage on those networking skills or those connections to have employment somewhere else through the connection you have at the institution where we post you at. So that those are the ways we look, those are the directions we look at.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have more female coming to enroll with the NYSS, or more, go to get a body or whatever? Because we have that chepe in the Sahel, because go to get a family, you get a young, and that you get a young. You do have more men than female.
So we always have problems with that. With the last ATP program we had more guys than ladies. But the upcoming graduate program, I went over the applications, and then we have a statistic that shows how many ladies and how many men applied. As of now, we have about 57% female, and we have about 42% male that applied for now. And in fact, most of the people that call me with regards to the applications, my number is provided on the application link. Most of the people that even call are female. So we have more female that are showing up with regards to this upcoming graduate program than male. So the females are actually dominating.
That's excellent. I like that. But do you also look at their ages, or you only concentrating on the grade they are from? Or the age does not matter?
The age matters, because we're going by the youth policy of the Gambia.
Okay.
And then the age bracket that's given for the youths is between 18 to 35. So we're also limiting ourselves to between 18 and 85. In fact, one of the reasons why we're doing that is, after fresh graduates, sometimes it's difficult to have a job, because what happens is they will ask for 1 year, at least 6 to 1 year work experience, and you don't have that work experience. But we're expecting that those that are above 35 will at least have a work experience. Now, but the problems becomes those that are between the ages of 35 and 18, fresh graduates sometimes.
But you're training them not only to be job seekers, but also to be creative jobs.
Yes, as I said earlier on, we want to have a balanced society. Everybody cannot be employed, and everybody also cannot work for anybody. So there are people that are job creators, and there are people also that are job seekers. So in order to balance the society between job creators and job societies, and job creators and job seekers, we put up mechanisms whereby when we send you into institutions, you come back. We don't just want you to go and work for anybody. So as I said earlier on, you're doing well, we give you your support, not just a support, but we also create a market for you.
Okay.
So you will be able to employ yourself, and you will be able to also employ others to work for you.
Thank you. Take us back to the graduate program. Because time is against us. It's almost time, but I just want us to finish with the graduate program.
So
what are we expecting?
we're actually expecting a lot, and it's going to be very competitive, especially this time that we are doing in other universities. As I said, we did the pilot with the University of the Gambia. Then after the University of the Gambia, we have 4 other universities we are bringing up. Now, we're still giving 75% to the University of the Gambia and 25% to other universities, because this is the first time we are bringing them on board. So as we go on, we want to also look at how do we nationalize this, not only give percentage to this institution or this university and the rest to other universities. And in order to do that, as I said earlier, when we are constrained with fundings, we need partnerships from public-private sectors. UNDP is coming up. But how many of other international organizations do we have in the country? Or how many organizations in the philanthropists? When we have them on board, we want to also increase the numbers. As we have more universities, then we expected to give back to more people. And to do that also, we need partnerships, we need fundings, and not just that, also this upcoming one is very rigorous for the fact that it's very competitive. Now when you have when you look at our setup also, to show you how organized or how big this upcoming one is, we have about 3 committees. We have the advisory committee, which comprised of the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, and also the Minister of Youth and Sports, and Minister of Trade also, and Education also, in this advisory committee. We also have technical working committee, where we have representatives from the University of the Gambia, from the National Youth Council, from National Youth Parliament. We also have from the Ministry of Trade, that we have the Directorate of Employment also among the technical working committee. And we also have the management committee. The management committee also comprised of the managerial of the National Youth Service Scheme and other satellite institutions also.
Thank you.
So, and also how we do the selection processes also is rigorous, for the fact that in fact it's not just limited to the National Youth Service Scheme, but we have experts, HR experts that we invite in. And these experts are the ones that will conduct the screenings and the interviews, so that they will get us not the best, but one of the best.
One of the best, yeah.
So because the number is huge, and then we cannot cater for everybody. So that is why we are having these people, so that it will be independent from anybody and everybody. So we will give our best to the graduates, and also give each and every one of them what they deserve.
Thank you very much. Having said that, and today it's the deadline day for the graduate program as well. So what happens from here?
So what happens? Okay, so we have a very tense week, because we are actually expecting them to. We are looking at between the 26th to 25th for them to report to camp. So when applications close today, so from today all the way to in this upcoming days, especially this upcoming week, is the screenings will be conducted, the interviews, and the email will be sent to the shortlisted candidates, and we will call them to follow up with them, so that we have them on board also before the dates we have for them to report to campus. So that we will, and then the last time we did it at Friendship, but we're also looking at how do we have them in the NYSS campus, because we have the facilities to be able to lodge these people. But still discussions are going on that, and because we want to have them also not as graduates, but we want to see how best do we have them plus the staffs, NYSS staffs, and the visitors, and the people that come and go. How do we have these people all together, so we'll be able to mingle, we'll be able to have fun together, discourse, tete-a-tete between the staffs of the NYSS from other satellite institutions and from the experts we invite to talk to these people. So how do we all have them together? So you will not, if you look into NYSS, you will not see that these people are the graduates and these people are the staffs, because we don't just want to be there as the staffs of NYSS, but we want to see how best do we make sure that we are in whatever we do, these people are involved, and whatever they do, we are also involved, so that there will not be a segregation between the two parties. So that's what we're looking at this time. And comes the graduate program, and I'm sure Star TV will be there as always. As always, we've always been showing up. And
inshallah. Thank you so much. That should be it. And your communication skills tells why you are the communication assistant for National Youth Service Scheme. Like seriously.
Thank you.
It went well. You communicated very well, and we're hoping to maybe invite you in other programs as well, other editions of the Morning Star, so that you can come and then give us some updates as to what really happened, and then some of the expectations and things you have on the pipeline as well. So we thank you very much for the pleasure of your company, and this won't be the last.
I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to be here again and again, and I'll be also more than happy to have you. On campus also at the NYSS headquarters.
Inshallah. I'll try my best to be there. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Ebrima Touray, the Communications Assistant at the National Youth Service Scheme, which is the NYSS.